Someone's left go.
Someone's left go.
Oh, that's a Hodor. Oh, that's a Hodor.
Hold up.
John.
John.
It's Rick.
No, it's Rick.
Yeah, I've got my headphones in. It's always the giveaway. I can't do it.
Is it me?
It was.
Hodor.
Someone had left YouTube on, I think.
No, you're all right.
Anyway, Richard, take it away.
Hey everybody, welcome to let me check the notes. Episode 77 of the Ideal Home Show. We have let me just load up YouTube and count every single video. Welcome to the show. We've got a special guest coming on just after we've done our what we're vaping. Craig's got a hat on. Have you had your tea, Craig?
No, I've got fucking hell. What is it? God damn it!
You've got a fucking
cliffhangers, and we've got cliffhangers. We've got squonking chat, and we've got a guest. What more could you ask for?
He's got Singapore noodles.
Changing it up this week, Craig.
The plot thickens.
Banging, these are. They're really good.
Vermicelli, a little bit of vermicelli. Yeah. So, John, a nice quiet week at the office for you. What did you have for lunch? How many sacks have you filled? And what are you vaping on?
What I had, and they're really nice as well. I had M&S. They do like 3 or 4 different types of sausage roll, and I had the pulled pork ones.
Oh, can I guess? Were they the David Stowe cheddar and bacon ones?
No, they weren't. I normally have those, but I didn't have those. I had the pulled pork ones that have got mustard in them and a little bit of onion as well. Oh, it's really good. And then at work, it's a bit of a running joke. I eat fruit every lunchtime, which seems very un-British of me, but I always have an orange or 2 and an orange. And a coffee from Costa. Oh, fuck. I have got to put this in the show. Costa, I fucking hate you and your shitty coffee shop. I stood in the queue there were 2 people in front of me, and I stood in the queue for about 17 minutes. The 2 people in front of me. And by the time I'd got to the front of the queue, all the stupid sort of epithets of the fucking coffee had lost all humour for me. Because I thought I'd buy a coffee for Eva, who does a lot of the packing at work. So I said, can I have a chai latte? Whatever it's called, like mediocre, whatever the shit it is, chai latte. And the lady went, yeah. I didn't say whatever the shit, but she said, yeah, no problem. And then I went, this is seriously what I said. And I said, I want a black Americano. I'm really boring with coffee. And I have a black Americano. And she went, what? And she went, what size would you like? And I went, I was trying to read it. And I went, can I have the whatever the fucking smallest cup is? That was what the answer. I didn't give a shit what they've decided to call it. Fucking venti, whatever the shit it is. Just get me the smallest fucking cup.
Haven't you noticed in these coffee shops, John, whatever size cup you get the same amount of coffee in it. So you get a pissy weak one if you get a big old pint of it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't bother. Because you get the same amount of coffee. Because I've had the medium one, you still get 1 shot of espresso, and it is piss. So I just didn't bother. So the poor lady at the counter got, can I have a whatever the fuck the smallest cup is called?
and no matter how you pronounce whatever kind of cup size, they always end up saying it differently to the person who's actually making the fucking drinks. Yeah. Stand there thinking, now I just look like a tool.
Yeah, and it just really annoyed me. And then I'd like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo making the coffee. It was like, do you want cinnamon sprinkled on the top? And I said, I don't give a shit.
It takes too long to make one coffee there.
It's ridiculous. I was so angry. I was furious. Like 17 minutes. It's not quick. Anyway,
like Starbucks still do the jugs, don't they? You can just get a jug of filter coffee.
Fine, I do that. I would have got. By the time I paid and he started fucking around with it, if I hadn't paid, I was going to walk out and then go back to work. And then my poor assistant would have gone, did you fuck? You didn't get shit. I hate that place. Anyway, so
his breakfast.
how many sacks? There were 3 sacks of mail yesterday and quite a lot today. And a lot of it's been delivered. Coil Vapes, we'll be talking about Coil Vapes in a bit. That was rather awesome week at work. A lot of people have got a really funny misconception, which is like, oh, John went to work in the vaping world, and now it's I bet he's having a shit day. Fucking brilliant day. I made I all the time. I make bets and hope a product and back products, and it worked. I had a fucking brilliant day. It was awesome. It was really, really busy, and I fucking fell asleep at 10 p.m. last night. But it's a wicked day.
You mean there are people out? You mean there are people out there that moan about working in vape shops?
No, I mean there are people, normal, regular viewers and stuff who think I might have a shitty time because I've had a hard day. I've had. I won't say petrol stations, so I'll say I've packed mayonnaise for a living. If you want a fucking hard day, go and slam some lids on mayonnaise, because that's a fucking hard day.
Picking raspberries and strawberries, that'll fucking blow it.
I put straw under strawberries for 2 weeks in about 2001. I tell you what, that's a fucking job.
That hurts.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't worry about me. I'll be all right. I have chili con carne for dinner with baked potatoes. Really good. Enjoyed that.
I had chili.
I had chili too.
Chili brothers.
Spoilers.
And what am I vaping on? I have got this. I've got raspberry mint in the Vapor Giant Nano with a Scott on a drip tip. And a Dacus flask.
Dacus.
I said it right.
Quite big for a nano, that.
Yeah, I would say that may not be a nano, that atomizer.
It is delicious.
Oh, I'm not questioning the taste of it, but the size.
Next, but by no means least, I saw a couple of people wanting these in the last couple of days, and it's quite funny, but I'm going on holiday on Saturday to Marrakesh for 4 days for my wedding anniversary, and I thought I'd get the Plato out, and I'm getting the Plato out. I thought, oh fuck, the Triton 2 coil, the Aspire Nautilus 0.7 would work in it. Obviously, same thread. So I popped 0.7 in there with Woo-Wah cigar. Mr. Eddie Woo-Wah ordered from Just Had Nick this week. Cheers, Eddie Woo-Wah. And it's fucking great. It really is. My favourite coil in this before was the Triton Mini, but I think the 0.7 Nautilus coil's taken over.
Yeah.
All right. It's great.
I think between that and the Archon, I think you can't go wrong between those two.
For holiday beaters.
This is a brilliant holiday beater. I'll have that in my pocket. Talking about Coil Vapes, I have got, where's the big bottle? I've got Limonzilla by Coil Vapes in the Aspire. Is it not Aspire? Cleto, yeah. Yeah, it is Aspire, isn't it? Aspire Cleto on top of the RX 200 with a groovy Shinel.
That's a nice Shinel.
Oh, yeah, that's quite good. This is 50 watts on a 0.72 coil. It's the rebuildable, and it's lemon meringue pie. And I made this up at work, believe it or not, because we sell it. And I was getting to try it at work, and no one could deny it's probably one of the best lemon meringue pies they've ever had, because there's no. It's a pastry flavour, not rampant graham cracker. which we've come to expect. It's actually Alan meringue pie.
I'm going to have a go on some of that soon.
It's really good. So that is going really well with an IPA today. What was that one? I didn't like it to begin with, but it's 9 hop Kent Pale Ale by Marks and Spencer.
From down my neck of the woods.
I had to go to Marks and Spencer today for beer because fuck you, Tesco. Fucking getting rid of fuck all go ship, you knobs. And last thing is like they're watching like Jeff Tesco just went, what did he say? Fucking hell. She called his wife in. Marjorie, look what John just said about Tesco. Don't worry about it.
They run out of ghost ship at Tesco's in Suffolk.
Which branch?
The Tesco's Express have taken it off. You know, the 4 for £4 or whatever. No, 4 for £6 or whatever it is. They've taken it off that. It's a load of shit from Marsden's, which I'm not really bothered about Marsden's.
If it's selling too well, then they might.
We're getting a little bit of an echo. Oh, it's gone. And last but by no means least are the Origin Mini. Not mini, tiny.
Great tank.
On top of an artisan, and it's got Cactus Punch in it. I'll make a remark on this because a lot of people have tried Cactus Punch, so I'm not going to go on about Cactus Punch, but someone stopped me at Vape Gen and just to take apart their tank to show me their coils and their cotton, to say the cotton in this tank has been in here for 2 weeks and I've run nothing but Cactus Punch through it. It is one of the cleanest liquids I've ever vaped. It just doesn't burn, which is great. That's my week really. Tried to scroll down on the script and can't press the right button.
We've got big timers in the chat.
Big timers in the chat. The Viking biker.
Viking bike.
Is that Viking bike? Richard.
The Viking baker, shouldn't it?
Viking Viper.
Good,
Yeah.
Richard, how has your week been? What are you vaping on? When was the last time you had a Bakewell tart? And what was you for dinner? What are you vaping on?
Okay. Week's been fine. Busy today. Not doing any work. Just sorting out.
Definite echo. Sorry, there is a definite echo.
Is it me in some way then?
No, because you're echoing, so it can't be you. Yeah, it was Craig. He's reloaded.
Pretty standard week. Pretty boring week, but got a new PC today, so I've been sorting that out instead of working. It's quite good. So that's nice. But I work in the vape world, so
it's an AMD. It's an AMD though, isn't it, Richard? So strictly speaking, it's not really a computer.
Very true. It's more of a yogurt.
Somebody likes yogurt. That was a really niche reference I did there. Sorry.
Ryzen. It's a Ryzen. It's an AMD Ryzen, their new processor. For if there's any geeks watching. 6 core processor.
Is it 8? Is it more than? Is it 8-bit?
64-bit. The operating system's on it. I don't know how that works. I don't know anything about them. I just know that it's going to be quite handy for video rendering. So what was the thing? Oh, the Bakewell tart. Your thing is with the Bakewell tart, for me, that's not a treat as such. That's just life. So it could have been.
Is that just what you have to eat?
Just if that could be. I could just have one now. Like I don't have any in, but it was not like a memorable occasion. Oh, this is a Bakewell tart. I'll make a note in my journal. So I can't remember. It could have been any time in the last week.
There's just one on your step. There's one on your doorstep when you wake up every morning. Oh, fucking hell, another Bakewell tart. Better eat it as well.
It's £1 for 6, isn't it?
Not where I'm near it. Fucking isn't.
Yeah, so I don't know. I genuinely don't know, but it will have been within the last 3 weeks. What am I vaping on? All kinds of stuff. Vaping on, get the plugs out of the way. Vaping on Wise Guys Bugsy.
Hey,
Good. It's good juice. I think it's good.
I think it is.
And the one shot was all fine and all worked nicely. Plenty of room in the bottle. I've got that in the Hexome with the Velocity, and I've got Shane Wiseman's coils in here. Vaping away. Good. They're good. They're good. As someone that doesn't create his own fancy wire, they're very handy.
Yeah.
Because it's not the wrapping bit. I think people should just sell the wire. It's not the wrapping bit that's the problem. It's the bothering to, get your drills out and.
Like that.
Yeah.
Like that, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty handy.
I suppose it's one of those things, isn't it? Once you've done it, you're into it and it's good. But I've never sorted out a high gauge nichrome and all that.
I've done it. I've made my own Claptons before.
Get your
There's
spindles
no.
out.
Yeah, I'm going to be no. I'll be controversial a little bit. It's not hard. It's just a pain in the ass.
It's really easy to make. I even fuse Claptons. I knock them up in 2 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
apparently
drills,
every day.
scribbles.
Apparently every day on Instagram, Squidoo does like 100 yards of wire live on the Instagram live thing. Just starts talking while drilling or something. Apparently,
We need to find better things for certain people to do. Really,
That's what killed Grandma.
he sold it. Apparently, he sold it for
She was talking while drilling.
Oh, yeah.
It's a
The old
double
grandma
whammy.
jokes again.
So yeah, I think it's a good coil. Contact Shane if you want some. In the Velocity V2, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I also have Monkey Jizz in the. Any guesses as how to pronounce this? Can you see that? Klin, Kylin.
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 I thought you were going to say XAM for a minute.
Is it American?
It's Vandy Vape, so yes.
Killing then.
Killing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh God, we're back onto it again.
Sorry, Dean. It's only fun.
This is Vandy Vape's new RTA, and it's like to use a very overdone phrase, it's like a Watofo Conqueror on acid. But everyone knows what I'm on about now, don't they? You just put the coils downward. There's no deck as such, and you just screw Allen keys in from the side, and then it's got air coming in from all over the shop. It comes with two glass tanks, a 2mm and a 6mm. But the reason I thought it worthy of mentioning is I've just got it, but it is an absolute flavour machine. It's really good. Have a go on it.
Pull the face.
Not
Do
quite
the
as,
face.
I did a slightly sided face.
He's not been doing the face. I've kind of watching
working.
all the reviews and waiting for the face.
I'm working on the face. I'm working.
Done well.
It's not as easy as you think to remove a tick like that. Especially when you refuse to do outtakes.
You should definitely.
All my reviews are always one shot. So, yeah. But I wish I could take this to every person out there that uses a TFV8 or a VTAC, the iJoy ones, or these crazy wattage sub tanks. I wish I could just take this to them and give them a go at 55 watts and just this is what you could have won. This if you bother to wrap your own coil, this is what you can have, because it's night and day, uncomparable the flavour between that.
There's so many decent things you can do that, like the Cleto now. That I said before, that's done it. It's a series build. Just you can chuck. I've had 70 watts through it. It'll from 50 to 70. It kicks the shit out of all those things.
And everyone that's still using the original Cleto, well, 9 out of 10 are using the RBA. Because it's just no substitute, is there, for...
A lot of people where I work use the heads, but they're not good. And my lazy fucking boss. Hello, Simon.
They buy the free packs of burners, do they? The burners.
Yeah, I often take a silk tank to work though. Just it is easier. But the flavor's amazing. The flavor is amazing in this. Really impressed. Bit crazy design, but it's really good. And I've got my Dacus.
Oh, we got this 2 for 2. Beautiful.
Yours has been discontinued, John.
Yeah, I know.
Officially not making any more flasks.
They are brilliant.
Apparently, they were a pain
in the arse. Yeah, I've heard that.
Came to with my new drip tip from Bezzy Goldsmith, goldenvapesuk.com. So it's all matchy with the Hurricane V2, and I've got Ice Cream Man in there. I've got the raspberry and lime twist.
I was vaping that all last week and at Jam.
Yeah, I love it. I've got it. When they got sent to me, they were all 6 mg, so I love to up the nick on the lower power tanks now. So really enjoying that. So that's all good stuff. And thank you to Bessie for the drip tip. I saw him eyeballing my mod at Jam, so it paid off. Perfect match.
Were you doing the late night business trades with him when he kind of got his case out at about 11 o'clock?
He got some cakes out.
Case.
Oh no!
He got his drip tip case laid out in front of the pub at Jam at about 11 o'clock, 11 at night, and people all kind of like digging in, shit faced.
I think I get fannied out. I and kept going home early. I'll be more of a badass at Expo.
No, I will have been shivering under that heat lamp at that time.
You would. That was fucking freaking me the fuck out. That did, because you were kind of like stood there, and it was like,
yeah, you're not supposed to shake that much, are you?
Fucking, it was unreal. I was like, he's gonna die. It was really weird. I was really worried.
Oh,
the stupidest thing about that was it's only about 300 yards to my hotel room to just get a coat.
Yeah, well, what was even sillier was you were about 2 yards away from just standing inside the entrance to the hotel and being lovely and warm.
See, viewers won't know this, but like Rick's sort of like Papa Smurf, and then Craig's like Mama Smurf. He looks after the 2 little ones. Make sure we're all right.
Well, you did have your shorts on though, Richard, didn't you? That's the trouble.
I was dressed appropriately for 3 p.m.
He had his short shorts and his high socks.
1 a.m.
Not 3 a.m.
Yeah, so that's me. That's everything. I've got a couple of other new things I'm going to do in news, just very briefly, because they've been mentioned before, and I've now got them. So, Craig, how's your week been? What you vaping? And we know what you're having. Singapore. What did you have for lunch?
Oh, fuck. I had John's favourite. I went for a cheeky Nando's.
I fucking hate Nando's.
Went for a sunset burger at Nando's.
I just feel bad for the chickens they use. Fucking horrible, limp-ass, fucking pale chickens from hell.
Did you see that thing about the Samoan national rugby team when they came for the World Cup?
What?
They had lunch and dinner at Nando's every day for 30 days.
Oh my god!
You must have had a shitter like a pinhole.
Yeah.
They do so much coke, those rugby teams, that it won't matter.
Shit through a sieve with no problem.
So in terms of work, yeah, fucking gripping. What am I vaping on? At the moment, I'm vaping. This very minute, I am vaping on the Tobacco Super Tank Mini on the Hexone, and in that, I've just mixed up a bottle of Lemonzilla. So,
hey!
Just a little one for you then, Craig.
Just a little one. I've bought 5 500ml bottles, and I kind of mixed up. So I've got 2.5 liters of like my ADVs kind of sorted out. I knew I was going to like this anyway, so it's kind of.
It's good, isn't it?
It's good.
Yeah. So I've just got that in there. The other thing, I'm gonna try and hit my things that I kind of got from Jam at the same time because I wasn't here last week. So first of all, Shane Wiseman, I want to say thank you for the coils. I've got them here. I haven't put them in anything yet. As soon as I do, I will let you know. But thank you very much for doing, mate. I really appreciate it. So, Rick and Bryn, Woo Wah Cigars, thank you very much. Paul Dunphy, who did the Wise Guys juice, thank you very much as well. Appreciate that, mate. I'm not a big fan of strawberries and cream though. So if anybody's got one they want to trade for strawberries and cream, I might just do that. So, but it's good. If you like strawberries and cream, it's a good use. Lane Cove, Ruby. I've got to mention this because I have been vaping it this week, and I've been vaping it in. I've had my little ghetto Reaper sitting there, and like everybody loves the book. So I've had that, and I've had Alice from Lane Cove in there, and that's really, really good. It's like a really nice apple pie type thing going on, and I really, really like that kind of thing. So I'm hitting that quite hard at the moment in that. The other bit was who was the guy that was outside, because he gave me some juice as well, and I just want to say thank you to Adam for the cheap thrills, Thor vapes, and the guy who's outside.
Cheap thrills and the liquid.
Are you talking about the French? You talking about the French guys, Craig?
Yeah. Was it? I don't know. The one where we're having breakfast.
Yeah,
and he kept on giving.
That's Vapology in France.
Okay, yeah. So I want to say thank you to them. So yeah, that was very strange. That was. I was very confused. And the last bit, the other bits that I got, which I have been vaping on a little bit, I got a steam tuner's tank for the K-Fun. I've got it on a K-Fun light, so I've got the old black rose with it.
I did see you a minute after you got that, and you look so chuffed.
It was great, but what happened was, and it's Panagiotis Kazimatis, I think his name is, that runs the company. I wrote it down. I just have trouble pronouncing it. I think I ended up stealing a drip tip off him by mistake, so I've got to send him a drip tip at some point, or I've got to send him
that guy who always walked off with a lighter, aren't you?
No, I wasn't actually. This was weird, because what happened was I actually walked off with 2 drip tips and then went back and gave him one back and said, I'm really sorry about that, and then realised later I'd got another one. So it was kind of like I was a bit gutted with that. So I ended up putting it on. I've got to admit, this does look nice. I've got the Artisan Wapari.
It's gorgeous. And you've got a toot.
And I've got a toot with a Chris Mumbell cap and a clear drip tip on the top of it as well. So I've kind of got it picks up. Look at that, how quickly this picks up the front. Just from having warm hands, it kind of just like. So, yeah, so that's really all I've kind of been vaping on. I think that's pretty much all of my shit, I think. Oh, and then I've just been vaping on the hydrogen. I use the hydrogen a lot for work because it's kind of got a battery that goes right the way through the day. So got the other Uber 2 sitting on the hydrogen. So, yeah. Other than that, I think that's about it. Rick, what should we ask? What are you vaping on? What did you have for dinner? And how are the school holidays going?
That was last week, mate. School holidays.
Was it?
Yeah, I was going to say.
It depends where you live. Depends where you live. Ours is still ongoing.
Yeah. Is it?
Oh, right. No,
our school holidays are great. They're over, so they're great. School holidays. I had chili, like I said earlier. Yeah, you're the only one that didn't have chili tonight, Craig. We've all had chili.
Noodles. It's similar. It's like Chinese.
Well, someone's gonna have to. You're gonna have to get some chili. They do it at M&S. I know they do. I've had it before. I bet he's going to get it now. Look, I bet he's got one in the fridge.
Hold on.
I think they do.
I put it back. I'll tell you what happened. I put it back, and instead, I ended up getting these instead. I got.
Oh yes.
Dirty fries.
Fucking hell, they're lovely. So,
They used to do a straight oven chili with like wedges in. That was nice.
Yeah. So that was that. Anyway, Rick, go on then, mate.
Right, what am I vaping on? Right, what? Let me have a look. Yes, me and Bryn had a little day out on Easter Monday, and we went to Rochester to a little shop called Vaporizzo. And I've got to give a shout out to Peter there because I had a good long chat with him. We sat in there for a couple of hours, drinking coffee, and he gave us some coils. So I've got some new coils from him, and that is from Coil Beard UK. He's going to be making them and selling them soon, so watch out for those. And I've got those in a new atomizer that I got today. So another shout out to Chris at Psychosis Inc. for sending me Well, actually, not just Chris. Actually, he didn't send it. He just told Mark Dolan to send it from Vapesque. And today I got the Pandora, the Pandora RDA.
How are you getting on with it?
Psychosis Inc. It's interesting. It's good. I mean, it's sort of like a Kennedy.
Is it a Kennedy killer?
Who the fuck's Carrick?
Kennedy.
I think he means you, Gary.
Carrick?
Eric?
Is it a Kennedy killer?
Kennedy killer. No, I won't say it's a Kennedy killer, but it's as good. It's got undercoil airflow. It's got a funky thing going on. The airflow goes in the sides by the posts and spins round underneath and comes up and under the coils. You can see that. Can you see that?
What's that? What's that top cap for? With all the crazy
Keeping the juice in.
There is some funky stuff going on with that. I'm not sure whether that
What's
does
that
it.
for? Is that heat displacement?
I've got no idea. Maybe it is actually. I don't know. I don't think it improves flavour, but you know, quality of the build though is great. It's got a really nice chunky top cap on it. You can either you can adjust the airflow by adjusting the top cap round. You can either have it wide open like I do. It's also got a diffused.
Ooh.
Are you really saying that's as good as a Kennedy? Because I'm going to hold you to that.
Well, I'm yet to really go at it. I only got it home about an hour ago. I'm not. It's as well made. It's as well made. I can certainly say that. It is really, everything's nice. The cap fits on nicely. The tolerances are good. The machining's nice, and the post layout for me, I prefer it personally because you got it's one of those 4 holes, 2 in each post, but I just stack them on top in the centre 2, and they're the perfect distance apart to get your fused Claptons that are about 6 mil long inside there. So I'm going to use it. And I'm going to tell you what I think next week, I think. But first impressions are it's really good. I like it. So, yeah, that's Pandora's box.
And you can get it from Vapesque.
Vapesque have got them. I think a couple of other places have as well. But Vapesque, get it from there. You're going to get one.
Vape Squee.
I think they're good. I'm not sure what they cost. I think they're about around the 40-50 quid mark. So they're not silly priced as well. So. And yeah, all your goon caps fit on really nicely as well. So,
very nice.
There you go.
Nice. I'm on that. What have I do? Yeah, I've just got my voodoo brew in that. Next up, so I've got to join the gang and say I've got my Dacus flask. I've got some French guys juice as well. They gave us this
French jockstrap. I thought you were going to say them.
The French guys Vapeology hype juice. This is called strawberry mixer. And it's a strawberry menthol, and it's really, really good in the Gaia. I'm liking that Gaia again. I really am. It's great. What else? Okay, yeah. Got my Squonky Squonk. Chris Scott with my goon.
Are we gonna be able to drag? Who's
Echo?
Who's got a Hodo? It's not me for once.
I think it is.
No, no. I heard it.
Hello.
Gone again.
Are we going to be able to drag Mike on when Craig gets his Dacus? When we've all got a Dacus?
I think we should get Mike on. I miss Mike already. I miss him. No. Everyone needs Mike in their life, I reckon.
I think we need to start the petition.
Well, you've only got to ask 3 people and they're all in here. I'm guessing
it's on Mike, isn't it? Whether he fancies it. Yeah. So is that everyone? Shall we?
No, I've got another one. Yeah.
Oh,
That's my fault. I've got my Clito going still with Horny Mango. Yeah. I liked it so much I went on eBay and bought some of that. The French guys gave us some Horny Mango. I knew it was nice. I tried it before. They gave us some, and
that's what they should change the juice company name to those French guys.
Yeah, those French guys. Yeah, well, I rate this Horny Mango so much. In a tank, it's not a dripping juice. It'll knock your head off if you really rip on it. But 45 watts on a Clito, spot on. Really nice. So nice, I actually bought some.
We forgot to warn Craig about that outside the hotel.
What's that?
Do you remember that? We gave you a go on it, but we didn't warn you that it was.
Yeah,
Quite-
I do remember that. Yeah.
What was it?
And a combination of cold air and kind of. It was early morning, wasn't it? And a face full of that, and it was like.
Yeah. If you don't know it's coming, it's quite hardcore.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's got kick.
It's got more Coolada in it than something that's got a lot of Coolada in.
But no, I really like it. You just can't really rip. Can't really go at it hardcore.
Oh, come on. I got a windpipe made of steel. I'll give it a go.
But you could probably up the nick on this and rip it at 100 watts, probably.
Fucking 80 milligram, 0.01.
No air hole.
100 watts.
You can drink it.
The only time I've nearly choked was when somebody said, well, there's no way you could do a 0.2 coil with 24 nick. And I went, I fucking can. And I filmed myself taking a drag. I went, but out and went, see, turned off the camera, nearly collapsed on the floor. It's a 24 milligram at 0.2, sort of 100 watts is, it's even past me that. Oh, I'll tell you who could do it.
Flitzy.
Flitzy.
Yeah,
Flitzy could fucking do it.
Yeah.
Me and Flitzy are like bros from other hoes.
Just don't say the N word.
Don't leave that to nasty. Sing a song. Anyway, hashtag timestamp.
Right.
No, we're going to bring in our guest.
We're going to bring in our guest.
Yes.
He's been patiently sitting there for 40 minutes now.
40 minutes, that's really bad.
That
I
is bad.
apologise before we let him in the show. Welcome, Dean from Coil Vapes, all the way from New Orleans.
I was gonna do.
He's been to the House of the Rising Sun and he's popped back.
He's got it.
Got
There
it.
he is.
Hey,
Hey,
Dean.
hello.
Hello.
As my wife just poked her head in the door. She's like, "Have you got on yet?" And I said, "No, not yet."
We waffle too much, don't we? We just go.
It's all good. You may hear my kids in the background because they just got home from school, so they're going to be rowdy.
Guests
Right,
get away with a lot. You'll be all right.
That's okay. He's got headphones on. We don't have to watch a language. We're all right.
Nope. You're good.
Keep them pinned to your head.
So how everyone's doing?
Good. How are you? How's the weather in New Orleans?
It's starting to feel like summer. It's hot and humid. That's about it. It's cloudy, a few rain showers here and there, but all good. Just got back from Tennessee, so
Good. It's decidedly crapper here. I don't know what is it. I'm gonna check. My phone will tell me. I don't even have to go outside to check if it's warm anymore. 12 degrees.
yeah. Is normally like that? The weather?
No, that's actually unseasonably warm.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
It was-
it's all
it
right.
was-
It's still over here at the moment, so it's not too bad. So, but
Sunday
we had
night it was 5 degrees.
yeah,
Wow.
colder than a witch's tit.
I never quite get that one. What witches aren't generally associated with cold places, are they?
No,
You're
but
not
I do.
No.
You wouldn't understand. Northern witches are cold.
It's
All
going
right,
to
then.
be flatter, isn't it?
Yeah, it's flat as a
flat.
witch's tit.
Flat as a witch's tit.
Anyway,
And
slightly
that's
distracted.
Northerners talking about Southerners beer.
Not beer.
We do all right for beer nowadays.
You get your money's worth down south. Although you've
Derby.
paid more for it. Swings and roundabouts.
It's true. Yeah, you like a big Ed in the north, don't you?
Yeah.
Went to Blackpool, got a Guinness, and I needed a flake.
If you've got a Guinness in Blackpool, I'd be amazed.
I did. I got a Guinness in Blackpool, but you needed a flake in it. It was the head on the beer. It was like that.
You want a flake in that?
We
love?
don't do that down
That's not
south.
Guinness,
You
that's
get
the sea.
killed. Anyway, I think we're going to go. We're going to go with the news. Butt in whenever you like, Dean, because you're a guest, so you're fine.
Yeah, you get to join in. If
and
you've got anything that you want to go and have a rant at, feel free. If you want to, you just You just dive on in when you see something. You go, ooh.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm gonna add a bit to mine. I think I'm just going to double check. I know this is live, but yeah, I think we're okay. No, I don't need to check. A quick one for Just Add Nick, which is derailment is winging its way. Derailment liquids are winging their way to Just Add Nick. So, well, they'll be here soon. Well, don't worry. We'll find out about Coil Vapes later. It's fine. And so I'm trying to find a piece of my news because I didn't know anybody got it, but I really think it's definitely worth reading out.
Yeah.
Expo is coming up. We're a week away, so we're 5 weeks away ish, aren't we? 5 weeks, 6 weeks away from Expo in Birmingham.
Yep.
Which is the next convention you will find all four of us at, and Mark Todd. And who's coming over from the USA? That was what I didn't know.
Matt and V, definitely.
Yeah, Ruby
Matt
was.
and V are coming.
Ruby's not
suck my
coming.
mod.
Ruby's not coming now.
Okay.
Okay, Ruby's not going to be there.
Matt and V.
But Matt and V, so Suck My Mod, Matt and V are going to be over to the UK again.
Is the man with the huge head coming over?
Man with a huge head.
Yeah, Basardo.
I don't even know.
It's
Probably.
gigantic. When you see it in real life, honestly, it's like got its own gravitational pull.
I have to say the biggest head I ever saw was David Hasselhoff. His head is giant. It's enormous.
Is he got a good side head?
I guess with the hair, I'm thinking, but I saw him in person, and I guess that's what it is for actors and stuff like that. They tend to have larger heads. It works well for the camera.
Easier to zoom in on.
No, it's true though.
It does that. I mean, when you see his build, it's kind of like his head is remarkably huge versus his actual body, isn't it? As well,
Yes. I like it looks unproportional, but it works well on camera. You know.
Yeah. It's like Uma Thurman and her feet in her hands. She's like Flipper. Anyway.
The next thing.
Let's carry on about David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, where's he been?
The guy was in his element, wasn't he? The old fellow on Boob Watch. I mean, he surrounded himself with loads of boobies, didn't he?
Well, we got Boob Watch the movie is coming out. Is it out or is it coming out soon?
No, it's a new TV show, isn't it?
Oh, I thought it was a film. Is it not film?
TV, I think.
I thought it was The Rock was in it.
They're not. It's Hasselhoff in it. That's the thing.
I don't think so.
Right, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you need the Hoff. If they got the Hoff and the Rock at the same time, I think
He's a cracking singer.
That might be too much.
It might be. You might just break everyone's television sets with the awesomeness.
I'm really sorry. I was kind of chatting and trying to struggle to find something because there was such a brilliant comment on last week's show. It's not the troll of the week comment that a few people brought to our attention. I don't think you've got it in troll of the week, but I
got trolled, didn't I, this week?
Oh yeah, we got the first one, which was, I don't know if that guy's deleted his comment, Rick. I'm trying to find it. But the first one was obviously a non-vapor who watched the show for no reason. Sometimes our titles flick out keywords. Obviously, we try and make them funny, our show titles, but sometimes people watch it who don't vape. And so I think that actually the first comment last week was, let me think of a funny voice to do it in. I'll go with Birmingham. So, who has the most colourful, most expensive butt plug? Show them off like the governments of totalitarianism, fascist military showing off their biggest colourful, expensive dildos that fly through the skies. But theirs are ballistic and meant to kill. Yours are to live longer. That's what the hate is saying.
Hands down, it's got to be a titanium reaper.
Says the fascist globalist. And I put butt plugs. Well, my answer was, butt plug checks are next week. And Rick went with, show us yours, we'll show you ours, which was quite good. made me laugh. But I was really trying to find. There was a very, very angry man who popped over.
Are we talking about Angry Man about Dave Dawn?
About Dave Dawn. I'll give you that because I can't find. I don't know if we've locked his comment or whether he's not there. You wouldn't know this thing. There's a thing in the UK called the New Nicotine Alliance. They pretend to help vaping in the UK. They also make chocolate fire guards and put some fantastic chocolate teapots as well. Oh, beautiful. And
nice.
Yeah, he had a problem with us having a little bit of a jokey go at Dave Dawn and his useless ways. And all Rick asked him to do was to tell us what he'd done for vaping advocacy, but we just kept going, nothing, just no, nothing, no answer. And then he decided to turn on Rick because we proved that med mods were in fact less dangerous than regulated mods, if you looked at it statistically speaking. And then he disagreed with that, and I said, well, we asked Rick to prove his point statistically with figures, so can we ask you to do the same? No reply.
Well, his main argument was, when we asked him what Vapers in Power were doing, was that they're on the
new NNA this time.
Oh, the NNA, then wherever it is, same thing, isn't it? Something about they're trying to protect SNUS, he said, didn't he?
Yeah.
They're on this. They're going to court, or I don't know what it is. They're on a committee to, and it's like, it was just, what the fuck? Who gives a shit anyway about SNUS? You know what I mean, really? Come on.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
What the fuck?
It was a really weird little discussion on a YouTube video.
I've just looked back, and I think he did take on board. I think he took on board what we said, John, because I think he must have deleted his own comment.
Yeah, but we've had this argument in the past with people before, and we've kind of we've been in this industry and around vaping for a long fucking time. You want to just make a file up before you start an argument, and get ready, because you're going to need statistics and figures, because it doesn't work. And people need to stop blurring the line. There is a very definite line between, like, CBD oils, I don't care, and things like snus and chewing tobacco, I'm not interested at all. It's about vaping. It's not about snus and CBD and chewing tobacco. I just don't give a shit. So yeah, stop blurring the lines, because it really buggers up your argument if you start talking about stuff that other than vaping. Let's get that sorted first. Anyway, that was the end of my news. Sorry, I went all serious again. I did it last week as well. Richard.
Hiya.
Hello. You're straight in with another one. I can see it already in your
yeah. Oh, well, let's do the other bits then first.
Do the other bits first.
Let me scroll down. Okay, so following John's discussion last week on closed systems, I have how to do a closed system without it being closed. This is the new Joytech Penguin.
Hold that up. That's a thing, isn't it?
That's a thing. It's not as big as it looks.
Okay. No, you're right. It's not.
It's not as big as it looks. Yeah, it's a cartridge-esque thing.
Right.
But you can fill it up. 8 mils. You can fill it up.
Isn't that looks like one of those little labelling machines?
I was just about to say that. It's in beers that just starting to look like printer cartridges now.
Yeah, it's stylish. It's stylish. Yeah, so it's a cartridge, but it has a real coil in. It has a modern style coil. You can fill it up with whatever juice you like.
Right.
It's an all-in-one. Nice big battery on it, 2000 mAh. And yeah, a range of coils to suit your vaping style.
See,
and this is the Joytech Penguin.
that is quite a thing to behold. But the thing that the other one that's quite a similar look to that that's on the market at the moment, which I wouldn't touch with someone else's, is the one by British American Tobacco, which I've seen a few people hold up.
The Vibe, is it?
No, they've got one very similar to that. It's got a 3 mil or 2 mil internal bottle cartridge thing. But the difference is it's made by British American Tobacco, who can fuck off. How can they can kill 40% of their customer base and then give you the cure? Fuck off. Stop buying shit from Big Tobacco. The one thing I will say is that Dean himself is a promoter of the Fix, which is a cartridge closed system. But I just want to say, I think you watched the show last week, Dean, but my point was actually about the fact that we can't get the nicotine solutions you can. So it changes, what I'm trying to say is it changes the argument completely. If we could get the 52 milligram salt, Nic Salt liquids that you can legally purchase, I would have way less of a problem. I have there's many like issues, but that's mine. I tried Ruby's Jewel and she'd got 52 milligram Nic Salt in it, and that's a hit. That's a proper for me. Go, yeah, I could deal with that. As soon as you take it down to 20 milligram, I don't give a shit.
Right.
It's old tech. It is stupid little thing.
Golden Vapes pointing out on chat that it's 8 mil capacity, so it's not TPD compliant. They are doing an EU TPD compliant cartridge that is 2 mil. You happen to pick up from somewhere an 8 mil cartridge after the fact, then.
So what were you going to say, Dean? What was the?
It's one of those things.
No, it's I did watch a show last week, and in regards to the closed systems, like I'm with Ruby too. I always have Juuls. I have 3 of them actually, and we have salts that are coming out too. But the man, I love them, and the Fix. I love them not because they're exceptional in flavor or anything like that. They just are perfect. Like some days I'll just go out and just have this, and it's just so convenient to have that in your pocket, not to carry batteries and everything else like that. And if you don't want to, especially like with bigger mods, you can see people's reaction when you blow clouds, even when you're in casinos here. I mean, there's cigarette smoke everywhere, but they see a vape cloud and they're ducking, and it's like Matrix moves. You have to get away from it. So
it's like drinking Diet Coke when you all believe that aspartame was going to kill you all.
Right.
Oh my God, is that fucking Diet Coke? Yeah.
Look at this giant cloud. What is this? Can't be good. You know. I've always been a courteous smoker. I never did, smoke a cigarette around people who didn't. And I do the same with vaping. So these are perfect for that, and that's what I use them for. Those times when you don't want to offend anybody. You just pull it out, get you a little Nic Fix, and it's not the best flavor in the world, but it works. You know, that's a great.
You would just kind of cross a point here, because I don't think we did it on the show at all. I don't think we read it out, but there was a thing released in the UK a couple of about 2 weeks ago, and there was a customer came into the store that we work in the back of. And he was talking about somebody wrote an article on vaping etiquette in the UK.
We were going to do it a month or so ago, yeah.
And this guy had written this article. If you think for you, Dean, it would be like a GQ's guide to vaping. So it was, like high-endy kind of gentleman's magazine writing is what it was. And a bloke came in the shop and he said, have you read the guide to the etiquette on vaping? And I said, I was actually doing orders at the time, and I just shouted from the back to the chap who was working, yeah, I have, and it's a load of shit.
It's obvious stuff.
He said, why do you say that? And I said, because the people who should fucking read it would never read it. And you made exactly the same point, Dee, is that as a smoker, you wouldn't blow smoke in the face of a non-smoker. But dickheads would.
Right.
It doesn't. Yeah. The people who should read it won't read it. And the people who... And because I said to the customer, I said, put your head out the door now, look down the road, and I'd give you 50 quid if you can't see a girl walking down the road with leggings so see-through you can read the washing instructions on her underpants, or a bloke's arse that's hanging out of his trousers. He could read an article saying, please don't show your bum crack in public. And she could read an article saying, I shouldn't wear trousers so thin you can see my fucking knickers. But they never will, because they won't. They don't give a shit. They're fucking assholes.
Just to jump off subject for a second, Robbo, this is definitely not a dye job. I don't have time to dye hair. It's all natural, man. It's all natural. No time for dye.
Dye beard. Yeah. Sorry, Richard, I jumped in and changed the subject.
I was just thinking about it when I was on the show. As we're sitting here, I'm listening to you guys. I'm like, wait, I didn't eat breakfast or lunch today. Like, I didn't eat nothing. You're talking about food. I still haven't eaten yet.
By the time this is finished, you'll be eating your own knee.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, we haven't got to Craig's news yet.
Yeah, wait till you see my news. Jeez, it goes on forever.
Yeah, so that's that. I thought that was really good. As an all-in-one system for a smoker turning vapor or just someone going on holiday or something, I thought that's a really nice. You fill it up with whatever you want. It's got proper coils in from now, not just silica and thin canthal.
I look forward to your review.
And it's nice. It's nice.
On V1C.
Yeah, V1CK YouTube. Do it. And I now am proud owner of a Desire Rabies.
You've got rabies.
It literally says rabies in italic right here.
I do like the way it looks, though. The cap's nice. The airflow looks nice, too.
It gives you rabies, though.
It may be worth it, right?
You get hydrophobia.
The one thing, I don't have a gold-plated mod to put it on, so I don't know where I need to put it. But it's the airflow is actually the airflow is actually quite special.
Is there any chance you could turn into a goth from using it if you get hydrophobia?
That's vampirism, isn't it?
Same thing.
It's the rabies thing. I'm scared to ask in a way. I could email them and say, why the fuck is it called this?
Well, it's because who makes it? Isn't it?
I know. Yeah, that is exactly the answer. Is they called the first one Mad Dog and they called the second one Rabies.
Yeah.
Why?
There's sense there. There's sense.
The next one's called Canine Syphilis.
Yeah.
White poo.
Just worms.
Yeah. That's going to be their new cotton line. White
Dog AIDS.
Do you think they make a sensible, nice one called Lassie or something?
What's that? What's that, Lassie?
What's that, Lassie?
Come out with another shit RDA.
What's that, Lassie? You need squonking.
Oh, we need a sensible one.
So, okay, so the USP on this is
The
that,
name.
yes, but what they've tried to do is airflow that is under the coil but on the side.
Right.
So what it's got is very low airflow holes on the barrel. It's then got a ramp, a ramping thing going on underneath.
Oh, bit like the drifter.
Oh, let's have a look at that. Let's focus on you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So it's coming. It's ramped up. It's pointing upward on the coil.
Right.
If that makes sense. So the idea is you get that under coil flavor, but it's not gonna. You can drip it, and it's not gonna piss everywhere. That's the thinking.
But isn't it going to piss everywhere when it goes down that ramp and out the air hole?
Yeah.
Well, the coil you sit the coil way above the deck, so
Right.
you still do have quite a considerable juice flow. It's almost an incredibly small RDTA in style. I don't know.
You've been rumbled, Rick.
Have I?
So the Desire Rabies.
Nice.
I don't know. It sort of works, you know. It's just got the worst name ever, and it's solid gold.
Well, they do have a cure for rabies, right?
Yeah.
We have a prevention, but we don't have a cure.
Oh.
I mean, it does
We
look
do,
a
have
bit
a,
like.
we do have a cure. It's the sawn-off shotgun.
You just old yellow it.
Oh, yellow reference.
It's almost a shame it's got a silly name because there's almost some logic behind this RDA. It's well made and stuff.
Someone's commented in chat that the next one might be the scabies RDA.
Scabies,
Oh,
yes.
I once had that when I was a student, and it's not pleasant.
Gout.
What's
The
scabies?
gout.
Scabies is fucking awful.
Could be the plague. Plague.
Yeah.
That'll already been done somewhere.
God, it's
You could do the thrush where it's just really irritating.
I've had that as well. Shut up.
The clap.
No, I've not had that.
The clap.
I'm good there. I'm good. Damn it.
The VD, that'd be a pretty good one.
Are you just naming things in the vain hope that I might just say, yeah, I've had that.
Yeah,
Check.
we are now.
Yeah, check.
And I can assure everyone in chat that is disputing it. It literally juice doesn't pour down the ramp. It sort of works, you know. So it's almost a thing. It's a bit like the Voopoo drag. It's almost a shame that it's got a silly name because it's almost good.
But the name as well, so it's like the Wanko. I think
Yeah.
that was it. It does sell. Well, it does sell.
Or the
sell it.
Shat. There's the Shat RDA we haven't got our hands on yet.
We need to get our hands on some chat.
Yeah. Shat-
We definitely need a Shat. I need a Shat anyway.
The HIV. That's a good one.
Right. We'll do my other bit of news next week, and we'll skip on to Craig.
Well, that is
Right,
quite a good
football.
one. That is a good one for the north. Somebody's put rickets. That would be quite good.
Rick is, yeah.
That's what Rick sells. Rick.
Rickets. Definitely do a kit and call it a ricket. That would be wicked.
Pox. The Pox by Gizzard Stew is a good one. Pox.
The Pox, yeah.
So, we'll
Great.
start. First
Take
of
us
all,
away.
Riyadh has left VT UK. So, after 98 shows, of which some was, ups and downs, he's finally hung up his, I don't know.
Well, I think we can all say. I think we're all a little bit personally gutted because I think we've all got a real soft spot for Riyadh and Brit.
Yeah.
I think he's a great player.
Yeah, and we mugged him. We mugged him at the Vape Jam the year before. He was just standing outside looking a little bit lost, and we just went, right, you're coming with us. He had no idea what was going on, and we just threw drinks at him, really. So, yeah, he's a really nice guy as well. So, wishing him all...
Lovely, whatever you decide to do, wicked. And he's got his new vape shop up in Scotland, and wish you every luck, mate.
And please do some Riyadh rundowns as well, because they were
Please, so funny.
ace. They were brilliant, so please do them. Next up, David Day on Limelight Mechanics is twat, but Dejan is awesome. I'd just like to say that. Next up, right, I have got... Okay, next up, I've got this, which is Mooch has done a new table. I'll see if this will expand out. This one is for 2650s or 20650s, 20700s, and 21700 and 21-70 batteries. So he's doing some of the checks on the newer shape batteries.
What would we do without the Mooch? The man's a genius.
We would surely all go up in a ball of flames and
Without the Mooch, he's
burn ourselves and everything.
He would, and he's lovely. He's ace. He's great. And honestly, if people haven't gone to, I think his Just Giving page might still be going or whatever. But if you haven't, then please do, because he's really doing everybody some help. Vape shops especially should throw a tenner his way at the very least, just for the fucking time he's saved you.
Yeah, because a lot of your literature is probably nicked from Mooch's testing.
Yeah.
So you owe him a tenner.
So next up,
I think they're going to be big, those batteries, by the way.
Oh yeah, me too, totally. And they are coming out well in the tests, aren't they?
Well,
This is the thing people have said to me about when are you bringing out battery tubes for the 2700s. I'm like, well, hang on a second. And then the next week, Mooch tells us how good the 21700 is.
That's yeah. Decision needs to be made on that.
Yeah. Next up.
Yeah, we're at VHS Betamax level.
I still think I like Betamax. I've still got a Betamax player.
It was a
That doesn't surprise me at all.
superior technology.
It was so much better than VHS. It was.
Okay.
We were talking about that today.
Next up, we've got a puppy uses a vape pen as a chew toy and it explodes on him. Okay, so we've got. I'll run this. I don't think
It's just a non-story. 4 volts to the dog.
Yeah, so I'll just run this so you can kind of see it, which is it's quite. I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but watch.
Full screen it, Craig.
Oh, I'll full screen it. Let's see what happens. Hold on a sec.
4 volts to the pooch.
One sec. There you go. So here he goes.
Fuck.
And the dog legs it.
I feel sorry that dog has got such shitty owners.
Yes, absolutely. No, well, ignore these couple of idiots who kind of say, "Oh, bad things happen." There's the woman responsible.
Is she in a rocking sofa?
Yeah, she's. Look, I'll go back.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
gently
Oh,
walk
it's a
it.
rocking
Very
chair.
comfortable. Very comfortable.
Oh, I'd like one of those.
Is it a lazy boy?
I don't know actually.
It's a lazy girl.
Yeah, lazy girl with batteries.
It looks female to me.
Yeah.
You have to admit that
stroll
looks
top.
quite comfortable. That looks very comfortable.
It does.
We've got
I need one, I think.
That little canine prison next to it doesn't look comfortable though.
Okay, I'm going to pause on this one, which is now look at the state of those.
Well, I'll tell you
fucking-
what. Let me screen share because I've got the picture up here. It's better.
You got the picture. Okay, you do that one there. Okay, I'll stop there. Right, there's a better picture. Look at those battery wraps.
fucking amazing.
Look at the top. Look at the top of the left one. It's fucked.
It looks like it's going to go or something's happened. So, because there's marks all over it, you can
Look at the
see.
state of everything. Look at the state of the charger.
Yeah, I think they've got other problems.
But they have. But let me just say, as a quick thing, both just to sort of just so people, because I can use references that people know. I've got a Cocker Spaniel. Mark Todd's got a Cocker Spaniel. If you want a dog that'll fucking pick up anything and run around the house with it, then they are Cocker Spaniels have asked us for it. Do you know what I do? I don't leave my mod anywhere where the dog could run around the fucking house with it.
I put everything in
That
cabinets.
would be sensible, though, John, wouldn't it?
The headline is actually a shitty dog owner is a bellend. That's actually the headline, isn't it?
That's the true headline. But I think that one of the points on it was they said the dog bit a vape pen. But then they go to show pictures of batteries in the charger.
Either or. Dean, what have you got anything to add to Stupid
Nothing.
Central?
It always seems like all these stories and how they get published, it's always you can because no one's familiar with how things work or battery safety or anything like that, so they just start taking pictures to get it out there and they shoot themselves in the foot because you can see clearly why those things happen.
Yep. Every what, like 99.9% of videos we've shown on this show, which has been a thermal runaway, have been caused by a battery in a pocket with loose chain.
Yes. Yep. You can't be mad at the battery. The battery's doing its job. That's what it's supposed to do. You know?
Everybody, yeah.
Yeah.
Saying, I've got this charge, I want to get it out there. You just put something on the end and I'll go. So that's
I need to release this pressure.
yeah. And it's very good at doing it.
Yes.
Next up, just wanted something that Alex Chara, is it, who put it on SV actually, was going on about the Bow and other inhale activated vapes. He was riding his motorbike and it ended up discharging the whole thing. Push bike was it? So yeah, and he got it on his bike and the wind just ended up wasting the entire charge, and because it thought it was pulling on it. So
Didn't they fuck up 3 coils? Because somebody proved it brilliantly as well. A lot of people don't know this. Those pressure activated switches in the
Cigar likes.
cigar-like type things. if you suck on them, if you suck on them, they go off. That's what killed Grandma. But also, if you blow, you can lock the switch on, which is what happened. Yeah. If you blow into it, you can lock the switch on. I can do it actually.
Sometimes they auto fire too, though.
Yeah, but this also fired on a bike. I might actually be able to do this with it. I don't know if it's got a chance. Oh. Right, so that was a drag. I might be able to lock it by blowing into it and it will do it.
That's what she said.
I can't. Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Got it locked.
Wow.
That is exactly what I'll do. If you blow into it, it'll lock on, and that just got to auto shut off.
I have another one similar to the Penguin in a sense that I had picked up at Showcase, and I was I noticed when I plugged it in, it was I can't remember the name of the device, but when you plug it in, there's a cartridge in it that holds I think 10 mils of liquid, and when you plug it in and it's charged up, it was having a problem charging, and I let it sit after it fully charged, and I revisited it. About, I don't know, maybe like 20 minutes later or so, and the mod and everything was just hot, just from just sitting there. So there's a short somewhere on that piece, and I pulled it apart. I'm not even touching it because it's all closed system, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna
That's an accident waiting to happen right there.
Yeah. Right, John's on his phone yet again. John?
I was trying to answer. Sorry. Somebody on Facebook had just noticed. Somebody watching the show had just noticed I was wearing a Sherb shirt, Jimmy the Juice Man shirt. And thought I was trying to pass across a subliminal message about just that, Nick, but I wasn't. It was because my boss came in with a load of stuff that he found in his house that's sort of 2 years old. And I decided to wear a Jimmy the Juice Man shirt just because I thought it looked fucking awesome. So I put it on. No, I'm not trying to pass across a subliminal message. I just like the shirt.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
I'm not confident with that answer.
Right, next up we've got Bloom's covered this a little bit. You remember a while ago this guy who did I think it'll play. Well, I think this might play. I don't know.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Oh, come on. New York Daily News.
This is why I don't watch the news.
Yeah, it's because this one's actually an improvement. This one is because we showed this a while ago, and eventually, hopefully, it'll load when it's finished loading up Expedia and got. Right, you remember this guy?
Yeah.
You know, and the one.
I remember this guy.
Yeah, that one there. Right. Well, a Queens man who was severely burned and temporarily had to use a wheelchair is suing the company that distributed the device. Okay, this is the guy who had 5 batteries in his pocket with some coins and all this other shit and everything else. Sometimes the pain keeps me up in the middle of the night. That's how Grandma died yet again. Gooding had 51 staples in his leg, and yeah, he goes on about.
I think it was nice of. I thought it was nice of Rick Mail's ghost to go and see him. It's very good.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, isn't that just? I'm really sorry, Jay, but isn't that just like your typical lawyer in New York?
Yeah. Just really cheap, unfitting suit and everything.
It's nice when they tag on the spouse, the partner, and their world has been turned upside down because of not being able to have sex. So they're sued too.
Yeah. It's kind of like the pain that they're going through, not getting rogered by an idiot.
Yeah. So you get two lawsuits now.
Yeah, it's kind of like.
I think she owes the distribution company money because she's gonna have no fuckwit children because her fuckwit other half has burnt his cock. I think that's
it's done him a favour. But the best bit is here, which is that it just sums it all up in one go, which is Gooding's attorney Sandfin filed a lawsuit in Brooklyn Supreme Court on Wednesday against Dongguan Wismac Electronics Limited.
Good luck with that one.
Poor Wismac.
Best Technology Co Limited. It's like, yeah, it's not going to go anywhere, sunshine. That one isn't. They're just, you just think, why are these people even fucking trying? Why are you bothering? So, yeah, that's the follow up on the guy who's doing that. He's taking China and South. I nearly said North Korea. That'd be difficult.
Why not bring the U.S. government into it too with loose change?
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, why doesn't he take them to court? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing, all those bits combined, yeah, he probably
These changing batteries are dangerous. I mean, it's shown right there.
I think you should change your name to Rubenstein and give him a phone call and say, I've got an idea.
I'll get right on that. I'll get right on that as soon as we're done here.
Just telling me 10%, you'll be all right. So, yeah, I'm not going to show you the pictures, but it's equally as grim. But the next thing I wanted to say was, go and watch Plumes as well. They've got the DNA 75C, which is the new bigger screen one. Angsty actually did the tech time rather than Masty this time. He's had one for about a month and a half, I think. Angsty has. He's just hidden away. He's not been allowed to show it, but he showed it on the last Plumes as well. So the big screen DNA 75. Wow, it looks very nice actually. People like the fact it's got a big screen. It's like, well, if it's got a big screen, don't fucking buy it.
Yeah, that is true.
Just,
I have a few people. I did notice a few people had said that, and a few people, knocking DNA boards. I totally agree, but come on, you're talking about two manufacturers.
Yeah,
Rick's a reseller, but has been a reseller of both in the past, and you're talking even if they're number two, they are number two of two. That's not bad.
Yeah. And also, you can't turn around and say it looks like Chinese shit because they're all made in fucking China. All the parts come from China. All the electronics come from China or Singapore or Malaysia or whatever, because that's where all the screens came from after the massive shortage they had about a year ago. They were being all pulled in from those countries anyway. So, whenever anybody says, oh, it looks like cheap Chinese shit, it's like, oh, fuck off.
I've had that argument a bunch of times in the past. I mean, even if you get a high-end mod, there's some part somewhere in there that's probably part of China in that piece, The battery definitely is. We know that, right?
Yeah.
And to call it and to dismiss something because it's Chinese is, if you are that much of a fuck-ass, that is just the definition of racism. Just to go, it's Chinese.
Yeah,
right.
It's like, I think China have helped get more people, probably save more people in terms of getting people onto off cigarettes than anybody else. If you're looking at it,
I think people don't like it because they've done it to make money.
Yeah, and it's like, you got about the fact that other capitalists are making money out
of order.
Out of order. The next one, I've put some pictures in. I think Rick, have you got it there? Which is the Flave.
The Flave coming up.
Yeah, which is Alliance Tech put some pictures up today of an RDA, which they are doing called the Flave. You have to go Flavor Flav, don't you, really, with it?
Flavor!
You need a big clock in the background. That's what you need.
Oh, Medina!
Yeah. So, yeah, Alliance Tech have done a little kind of, it's a little like Norder Hadley-esque type thing with the...
Sector 8?
Is he what? Sorry, Dan?
They had the Sector 8. You remember that one that came out?
Yeah.
I think this looks quite good, this.
Yeah, it looks all right.
It's clean.
Yeah, come through the walls. It's very tidy.
I like the cap, too. It's nice.
It looks pretty good, though, doesn't it?
They have that everybody's starting to, you notice everybody's starting to transition to that M-Addy look on the tips.
Of course they are.
Yeah. Just make it so you can get the accessories out for it.
Oh, he's got an awesome tip.
Dino, you need to like you.
How can you not like me with that? It does say Coil Vapes on the side, though. Dejan put that on there.
Oh, that is very nice. Yeah. The mod's nice, but the eye.
I got lucky, honestly. It was just one of those lucky things that raffles, it was just one of those. And I've held on to it since from the first run. I don't get rid of things. Anything I buy, I keep. It's hard for me to get rid of stuff. I'm not into selling or flipping or trading. Usually I keep it to the grave.
Yeah, buy it to enjoy it and keep it. If you use that logic, then you're not going to go far wrong, are you, really? So you're always going to find stuff that you like if you do that. So
yep.
Yep. So the Flave RDA, it comes with a BF pin. I think it's 25 millimeter diameter. I think, I'm not sure. It's on the Alliance Tech group anyway. I forgot to put the bits in here, the extra bits. I was going to copy them. But yeah, it's quite a nice little bit kit. So gold plated BF pin in the bottom of it as well. So for those people that say gold hits harder, then yeah, that one will do you. So yeah, next up, this one's via Bigglesworth, which is Mr. Bigglesworth, who's ace. He did this thing, which was CDC produced a document which said that quit methods used by US adult smokers for 2014 to 2016.
Oh yeah, I did see this because I nearly posted this. I nearly put this in the notes myself.
And it's really good. There's I'll try and.
It's really good, but I still think the figures are blurred.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit in there. Yeah, it's like giving up cigarettes all at once, 65.3, and gradually cutting back cigarettes, 62, are the most common methods used, followed by substituting some cigarettes with e-cigarettes using at 35.3.
I sort of call balls, but only from anecdotal evidence. But I as an adult smoker using patches, you've got a 1 in 20 chance of quitting.
Yeah. Well, that was from Horizon.
I think vaping kicks the shit out of them.
So they've kind of got the data now on their side. So, various people are going to kind of, I hope that the various people are going to start listening a little bit to the fact that, these numbers are coming through and it's actually more people are using it than the other NRTs and stuff like that. So I'll put a link in the group too. Anyway.
I promised not to do a rant on it, but I noticed today because there was a big Facebook splurge of a billboard that went up in London. It was today, which was the one that said that vaping is 95% safer than smoking, which we know now is actually the minimum that went in London. And there was quite a lot of Americans I've seen have commented today saying they wish they could see that kind of thing in America. Yeah. A billboard that we can do over here saying that it's 95% safer than smoke. And just to change,
I think
it would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
but the billboards in America are anti-vaping, aren't they?
Sorry?
Say again, Richard.
The billboards in America are anti-vaping, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Lots of them.
Which is just bizarre. But yeah, anyway, the bit underneath, there was a little bit on the article that it was attached to originally, which says the CDC has finally acknowledged the popularity of vaping, said Brad Rode, a professor of medicine at University of Louisville and an anti-smoking advocate. Now, there's one little part of this which I'm not entirely, I don't like, and it seems it's almost going the opposite way, which is this study documents that vaping is American smokers' most popular quit smoking aid, despite a broad misinformation campaign labeling e-cigarettes as neither safe nor effective. The bit that is that I'm a little bit dubious with this, and I think a lot of advocates do, which is they use the word safe. It's safer. And I think that's the key bit, is that safe implies that something causes no harm. And I think that's different than saying that something is safer in relation to something else. It has to be used in. You can't say, you can't interchange those two words because they've got very, very definite. There are definite meanings to each of them. So don't say that something is safe. Say that it is safer, because that's being honest. Don't say that it's safe, because I think you're kind of asking for the fall almost at that point. So
we've got to be careful. We've got to be careful about what we say.
Yeah. And the last one I'd stuck on the end of it was, and this one, no, fuck it, we won't do that one. I was going to mention Patreon and vaping, but I think we'll leave that for another time.
Leave it for another time.
Yeah, we'll leave that for another time. So anyway,
for a while.
Right, I'm going to go and get a cup of tea. And Rick.
Well, I've got a little bit of news this week. It sort of covers 2 points, and it's quite good to have Dean on, because being American about this. It's about the Navy and banning vaping. Surely they've still got devices that have got batteries, and they've completely missed the trick that it's batteries that are the problem and not the devices. But there's a Navy vet, sues over e-cig, that blew this hole in his leg in an article here. And he actually says He actually says he had a spare e-cigarette battery in his pocket. Began shooting fire into his thigh. I felt pain, and I felt the flames, he said. I smelled the smoke and I smelled the burning, so I spent the next 20 seconds ripping off my pants and patting down my legs to put the flames out. But he's suing over a battery, which is ridiculous anyway. But it's even more ridiculous that the Navy have been sucked into this banning these things, and they'd probably rather they were smoking instead of vaping. It's just sad, very sad. What do you think, Dean?
I don't think they really want either, to be honest. I think they want them to be healthy and in shape and ready at any time's notice. And I mean, if it's something that's gonna, I mean, as far as military goes, that's personnel. That's your workforce. If you have guys that are out, you know, that are hurt, they're just trying to protect. They're just trying to protect themselves, make sure that they have reliable people. That's what I take.
But I'll take. I'm just going to go through this from another. One of my best friends was a petty officer in the Navy in the UK for over a decade, and just because it's just kind of like a little bit personal, just for 2 seconds, just to say it is. They go through some fucking shit. I mean, unbelievable stuff, and they are. When he was in the Navy, he stopped smoking. He stopped smoking about 4 years ago for his kids. But they are hard drinking, hard smoking, fucking men, and they just are. And the rules on a ship are very, very, very different to the rules anywhere else. And I think to put boundaries like that up to these people, I mean, I think it's mad. I've drank with my naval friends, and back in the day when I could put quite a few away, and they'd drink me under the table. So having an e-cigarette, but pounding 20 cans of Stella when you're off shift, I don't really see it. I don't get that.
It's from an official standpoint. It's a temporary ban, and it's currently under review.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is as well that you don't, you know, if it's got a potential to cause a fire on board a ship, for instance, then I can see where the problem is, because.
But again, it's not the device, is it? It's the battery, and there's batteries in other things that are on the ship.
It doesn't. They don't see it that way, so they just go, "That's it." You know, they'll stop it until they've reviewed it.
I mean, there's way worse stuff than that. I mean, you can have rooms full of ether on a ship.
I guess
you can.
What you have to figure out too is how many of those other things with batteries are going off or exploding or causing issues that would cause a flag like that to put a temporary ban.
I mean, just as a thing that I again, personal thing, but saying that I know for a fact that before they docked, if they were going to dock in Africa, the captain would come downstairs in front of everybody and get everybody to sit down, shut up, and he would give a lecture on not fucking prostitutes and getting AIDS. And I personally think that's more of a problem than sticking an 18650 in your pocket with some.
Yeah, but think about it: if you're on a submarine, a nuclear submarine, and you know,
but you can't. No, but that's a non. I was gonna bring up exactly that, but that's a non-problem, because I know in the UK you cannot, you must be a non-smoker to go onto a submarine. You would never get clearance.
Well, they take the view, which is, you know, they say don't sleep with the prostitutes because they've got years of experience of sailors going out and of going with prostitutes. So probably at some point they went and put a ban on it at some point in the past and went, hold on, this is not working. But what they'll do is...
No. They don't say don't sleep with prostitutes.
Wait. Which is, they'll stop it, they'll review it, and then if it's fine, they'll let it go. But they have to go through that process because there'll be so many things on board the ship. Like you mentioned, there's a room full of ether.
Yeah. No, if you've got a leak, I mean, you would have to. Yeah. Oh, I get it. I'm just saying we're not. I was just trying to go against the whole. I've got I'm sure lots of people watching are exactly the same. I know I've got friends who are I've got friends who are Marines. I've got friends who are engineers. Friends who are officers in the Navy. Who there's a total absolutely they are as hard exactly what Dean was saying as well. They are the best of the best, and they're trying to make them the best of the best. But also, they are fucking machines with what they do. They really are, and they need to be able to do certain things, whether that's have a beer or have a fag or have a vape.
But you also have to have your lungs and be in physical shape to handle certain.
Yeah, but their own body. I think I know what you mean, Dean, but I'm with the thing of they are. There's very little you own when you're in the armed forces because they own you.
Let's face it.
So your lungs are yours
because you're an investment. You are an investment. They have piled millions of dollars into you to get you into the position where you are educated enough to be able to do it. That they are looking after their investment. That's the first thing. And the second thing is, I can't vape in my workplace.
Right. Exactly. I was the same way too. I mean, let's face it. We're discussing a product that's not a necessity by any means. It's a luxury, and we get addicted to it. It's not the norm, I guess. Like regular breathing or things that we do. So, I mean, there's rules and laws. I'm sure we'll continue dealing with this going forward, and just have to we could do our best and try to change things, but I mean, honestly, what are you gonna do?
We've got to read out side chat at the very least. Right, this is what side chat says, which is it's got Richard, and he says, "I was in the Navy." To which Rick asked, "Did you sail the 7 seas?" And Richard said, "That's classified."
I don't know. Richard's old enough to know the song that I'm referring to, though.
No, it's good, but the Navy will they don't take on board. That's quite a good thing. They don't take on outside research, analysis, information. They will be doing a full internal review of the whole thing.
My dad was in the Navy.
They'll come to their own conclusion, completely independent.
My dad was in the Navy. They used to give them cigarettes, packs of cigarettes and booze.
Yeah, they used to.
Yeah, it used to be part of your salary. Yeah.
Yeah, they'd take them out. They'd take them out to the bars when they're in dock and flog them to the locals.
I'm gonna put it out there just like this, and I don't care as far as and I was like you with my job. I went during the day. I'd probably vape like 2-3 times a day. 2 breaks and a lunch. That would be it, or before and after work. I couldn't vape. I was inside. I couldn't vape at my desk, and it sucked. But you have to obey by the rules and the laws, of your employment. And same goes for me as far as in my house. This is a rare occasion that I'm vaping in here. My wife understands, but I don't vape inside my house. I go outside every time. I don't have a problem with it. I respect her decisions, and I agree with it.
They can't go outside of a Type 42 destroyer, though.
True.
Floating up.
I jumped off subject.
To be controversial against myself, I will say if you ban smoking and vaping, I haven't got a problem.
Yeah.
It's allowing one and not the other. That's my problem.
I guess it's to do with the theory behind it, the ability for something to be able to cause an explosion. That's probably the risk that they'll look at, which is that this device has got enough energy in it to be able to cause quite catastrophic damage in a short space of time. It's
not enough. Not with an
18650 in the middle of the water, right in the middle of the ocean.
They'll have been really popular as well. A6,
yeah.
A6 will be really popular.
We know, and I know in America they did it. Especially, I've never seen anyone in the UK do it, but they've done. I remember there being a thing on Reddit which was sending liquid to mods and atomizers to people who were fighting in Afghanistan and people who were fighting in the Gulf. And they definitely did that in the US. They probably may have done it in the UK and I didn't see it. But and that was, I thought that was incredible. I remember reading the stories of it. And I've got a huge respect for that. Absolutely, especially being out there and quitting smoking. Fucking hell.
I'd imagine that there, that I don't know what the exact rules are, and if there is anybody who's like in any of the services, that when you're actually being deployed, whether the rules are any different when you're being deployed, and whether because you are, you're potentially staring down.
Sorry, I was laughing at Mr. Todd's comment Mr. Todd's comment in chat, which is amazing, which said it's not often this show goes off on a tangent, but when it does,
we could slightly do it pulling it back.
Says the man.
Yeah, okay. All right, we're going to pull it completely back. We're going to pull it completely back and go to our guest because we've been really rude. And just this is what we do. It's what we do. But I've got them one. We've got questions. We're going to go. So this is obviously Dean's been with us since the hand checks. This is Dean from Coil Vapes in New Orleans, and everybody. I think I shipped what would be classed as a cubic fuck ton of this one to Coil Vapers, and I think a lot of them are probably in chat actually. So we're going to go with the obvious question to start with, Dean, which I know you've spoken to me about it. But so how did liquid making start for you?
I started I smoked cigarettes since I was about 18. I'm 42 now. I started vaping in December of 2013. A friend of mine had turned me on to a little Ego style pen, and I went to a head shop, picked it up, and got some Skittles liquid, and started vaping. And the next month, about a week or two later, I guess, I was getting into January of 2014. The Ego just wasn't cutting it, so I started looking into it a little bit more and hit some local shops. And then I started my my love for vaping, and I found out about the local community, which kind of sucked me in even more, which is a nice added bonus to vaping. And I became obsessed with coil building, and I was watching Rip Trippers, I was watching Trevor Jones, Mark Todd, just trying to get twisted, a lot of them, just really just submerged myself in the YouTube. And once I started getting my bills comfortable, I noticed that, a lot of juices are very expensive, and I didn't have money at the time, a lot of money at the time. So it didn't seem too difficult. So I figured I'd check out on maybe mixing up some liquid for myself. And I started that, and I came up with a few flavors. And I was visiting a shop here called Smoke Signals, who've always been great to me. Even when I was in the shop, if they didn't have it, they recommended other shops or new shops that were open up, which was great. It was nice to see that. It was refreshing to see that. And they introduced me to who's now my partner, Andrew Diaz. He was the owner of Ohm's Vape Supply, which was in Metairie, and a good friend of mine, whose name is Chris, who is a manager at Smoke Signals in New Orleans. Smoke Signals has been around for a long time. They were one of the first vape shops here in the New Orleans area, and he told me about Andrew and Ohm's, and I should go visit. So I did that. After I left, I went and visited Andrew, and we met. We talked for a little while, and I said, "Hey, yeah, I make some e-liquid. I was just kind of messing around with it on my own." And so I asked him if he wanted to try it. He said, "Sure, no problem." So I pulled everything out, and I remember the first one that I let him try was Gelato Shot, and he had a mech, and he poured it on top. He took a hit, and it stopped him for a second. He kind of folded his arms, and he was kind of exhaled, and he was just thinking about it, and he's like, So he sits down on a chair, and I'm like, okay, I wonder if he likes it or not. He sits down on the chair, and he takes another hit, and then he just folds his arms, and he sits back, and he watches it come out of his mouth, and as soon as the last little piece comes out, he goes, "Man, I carry this." I said, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah." He said, "Look, man, I've been vaping for a while now, and it's unique. It's different. I've never run across anything like this. So he started running through the other flavors, and he said, look, come back next Wednesday. We'll lay it all out. I have friends that come by, and we'll run through the line. If we like it, I'll write you an order. We'll pick it up. And I said, I was kind of, taken back at first, and I said, sure. So it came back the next Wednesday, and we tried it out. And basically after that all happened, he right at the end, he gave me a list, and he's like, here's your first order. And no name of my company, no name for juices, no nothing, and I said, I need to get all this stuff straight. He goes, no problem. I'm not in a rush. Go ahead and get it out. And when you're ready, we'll pick it up. So started doing all the legal stuff, getting everything ready, looking for places and labels and coming up with names. And Coil Vapes started. And that happened in May of 2014. And after a month of it being in the shop, we started off with 10 ml bottles. And at the time, in 2014 in May, they didn't really have high VG juice. So he wanted an 80-20 mix. So all of our flavors were what I called it. I called it at the time the Cloud Edition, but we basically started with 80-20. But I always liked 70-30. And I just thought they translated well at that.
I like it. I'm with you. I like 70-30s because it goes in everything. Drippers, tanks, everything works.
Yeah, and it works. And for me, my biggest thing is there's not that much difference in cloudage or cloud production, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But there's a huge difference in flavor between those percentages. And I don't think it's worth clouds over flavor. That's just me, because you Dean and I sat in a hangout when the first time we met. Dean said to me, let's talk like face to face. And so Dean didn't know me, I didn't know Dean, and we sat down and we talked for about 2 hours on a Sunday evening, I think. And we kind of went through what Just Had Nick was and what Coil Vapes was. And I personally think that some people have got the knack for liquid. Something. I haven't got it. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's something where they can mix something and they can do it. And as Richard gets sent liquid all the time as a reviewer, and Craig has been sent liquid, and Rick's been sent liquid, and you try them all, and every so often it's few and far between, but you get something and you go, that person's got whatever the thing is, they got it.
Yeah.
And I really believe that.
Yeah, one of the biggest compliments I ever received was from Jules, who makes the Bolt, who makes the Bolt Squonker, the little small one.
Yeah. I mean, the Bolt made famous by Mr. Nick Grimm Green.
Yes, I love the Bolt so much, and he said when I tried it, it was the first time it made me stop and say, hey, this DIY guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. Like that was like the biggest compliment to me, because it is. I mean, essentially we're DIYers, I mean, that's how it all starts, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
And I don't know, it's the way this thing's gone, and to where we are. I mean, literally like in a month, and it still hasn't all sunk in my head. It's been an incredible journey, and I'm lucky enough to be working with great people throughout the industry who are like-minded, who are in it for more than just money, and who are in it for the community and giving back. And I mean, that's a big part of who I am. I like throwing in extras, and we were talking about this earlier about putting notes or letters or things like that. Just something. I just like people knowing that I do see it, and I'm very thankful, and I'm very appreciative, though I might not talk, but just little things, it makes me feel good. I know how I feel when I get a package, and it's nice when someone personalizes it for you,
Absolutely. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, we were talking about that just before we went live as well.
Yeah.
It's that I like.
I think they're very hard to come by, because they're. I don't think there are that many. I mean, I'd have trouble naming probably 5 off the top of my head that have kind of really, really got it, you know. And that, one of them are.
Oh, mine in the UK when the first time Mark Selby sent me Cactus Punch.
Yeah.
And no, Simon Sawyer sent it to me first. He sent me a bottle of Cactus Punch and he said, "There's this guy, local bloke, who just makes this liquid. He only makes one. It's called Cactus Punch." And I was like, "Oh fuck, it'd just be some load of crap." Because I've all got bottles with stuff written on it with a pen, and you think, oh, all right, I'll try it just out of being, you know, just to be polite. And you squirt it, stick it on a dripper. I'll always stick it on something that I think I can pull the cotton out quick when it's horrible. And I put it on, took a drag, and went, "Oh fuck, this guy's got something. I don't know what the fuck it is, but this guy's got something."
They're very. I mean, it's like, to me, they'd be like, you know, out of the ones I know, it's like Josh from Stash, probably. You know, there's you know, I think Scott DB does some really good stuff. Scott's a very good
Scott, exactly the same.
Maker. Yeah,
you can tell those standouts. You can tell right when you hit them instantly. You're like, yeah, this is different. You're like, you know, it grabs you really quick.
They don't make it obvious as well. It's kind of like, you know, use a horrible example. I'm a terrible person, but it's like, you know, Wise Guys, for instance, with the strawberries and cream. It's kind of like, yeah, it's a strawberries and cream, but we're now at the point where we've developed an additional requirement now, which is that it's got to really, really stand out. Either as an ADV, it's got to be able to carry itself forever.
Absolutely.
Or it's got to be something that's really fucking.
I was talking, me and Simon, who owns Just Add Nick. We were talking today, and there's this really, really weird requirement for an all-day vape, which Rick's got with the Voodoo Brew, and I'm sure Rich has got with his, and Craig, you'll have had with yours.
Gluttony, yeah.
But there's a really weird X factor, and the X factor is this: if you over flavor it, you're fucked as well.
Oh yeah,
it doesn't matter.
It's got to be unoffensive, hasn't it?
Over flavoring will give you a stronger throat hit than nicotine will.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll also put you off. You'll get sick of it really quick.
Yeah. I mean, the first vape is fantastic. The second vape, and you notice it starts to go downhill. Whereas, like your ADVs, what they do is they start really good. They're not. Sometimes you get ADVs that are not brilliant. Yeah. But what they'll do is they'll never tire on you. They'll never. Right. They hold and hold and hold and hold, which is it's almost a different kind of path to. An ADV is like a different.
I think that's the cigarette smoker in everybody.
I agree.
Is going for that with a cigarette. I was talking to a bloke about this today. I said there's a tobacco that I really like from House of Liquids, which is tobacco with a hint of coffee and a hint of chocolate, and it goes really well with red wine. And I really think, like, I've been vaping this Lemonzilla tonight, and it goes really, really well with a beer. Mm-hmm. Cigarettes go well with everything. Right? They are the universal flavour.
Right.
You can have a lasagna, smoke a cigarette. Drink a beer, smoke a cigarette. Have a red wine, smoke a cigarette. Bomb some sambuca, have a cigarette. It all fucking goes. And so, but there's this weird level of flavour that works or it doesn't. If you go too low, you can't be arsed with it, and if it's too high, you can't vape it all the time. And it's the difference between vaping 20 mils and 200. That's the difference.
Litres.
Yes.
Yeah.
And going back and buying another one. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's the hype juice thing. A lot of people buy one bottle of hype juice.
Yes.
People don't buy another bottle of that.
How much of that hype juice do they even knock out a bottle of hype juice?
Yeah, no.
That hype juice
you see it on the classified the next day for like £2.
Or it just stays on the shelf forever.
You know, that was a good point he brought up about the strawberries and cream, because I mean it's the same principle. I never rush flavors. Like anything, and I try not to follow trends. I just make what I enjoy. And all of my flavors are basically parts of my life that brought lots of happiness, that I enjoy eating. That's a staple of who I am today. So a lot of those flavors, pretty much all the flavors in my line are that way. And I try to recreate those moments in a vape. and it worked out. Grasshopper, and I mean, it's my favorite snowball. If you're ever in New Orleans, get a grasshopper snowball. You won't be disappointed. It's amazing. And with this one and the custard, there's a whole bunch of custards out there. There's a whole bunch of strawberry creams out there. It's to make that one that sticks out. You know?
Yeah.
You've mentioned, Jane, you've mentioned this one, so that's the second thing. the first time when me and Dean spoke, and he mentioned this one, and we were talking about this one, this thing clicked in my head that you have this, that there's a sort of almost joke with UK vapors. There's like a little bit of an inside joke which we have, which is when an American tells you to try a custard, you just ignore them. Because they don't know what custard is. They've no fucking idea. And then Mark, the legend, Todd, put me in touch with you. And we were chatting.
Thank you, Mark.
And we didn't really know each other. And we were chatting. Yeah, thank you, Mark. And we were chatting. And then suddenly this thing clicked in my head. And I thought, fuck, he's from New Orleans. And I knew French influence in New Orleans is absolutely huge, and I knew you actually knew what custard was because we talk to people in Florida and they kind of like, oh, I've got this amazing custard, and I just think, you don't know what fucking custard is.
Custard in America is custard ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Which really is different from which is different. It's completely different from a custard that you would get as a dessert, like as a main course, you know, like for dessert. And I think with the biggest influence from my side is my father's from Greece. Everybody on my dad's side, the family still lives in Greece. I was able to go there a couple of times in my life. It's very expensive to travel there, but I was fortunate enough to go a few times. And I grew up in a European style because my mom's German as well. So, you know, we tend to have those dishes. And then you have New Orleans in the mix and all that, which is like a melting pot of people from all over the world. We have some of the best Vietnamese food here. I mean, the culinary selection here is just amazing. Restaurants and everything. Food is just top notch. But basically what this one is, man, I've been on that thing for 3 years trying to get it right. And so many failed attempts. And I got frustrated, and I found some good ones that I liked, and I stuck with them. I really enjoy Big Willie's. I like Big Willie's custard. I had the privilege of trying Grant's this December that passed, and I like Grant's. I can see why Grant's is where Grant's is, you know?
Yeah, I'm very famous for saying that Grant's is piss. So I already said.
No, I don't think Grant's is piss, and I can honestly say I can understand why it is where it is. You know, I do get it.
I've got there's a couple of I don't want to see. I think he's got a brilliant business model. I really do, Grant. And I bought it. The first time I bought Grant's, he was handwriting the labels with a pen with a biro. So I've tried it. I tried it back in the day, and it's still the same. My issue, it's nothing. It's just sometimes I can taste peppery nick, and that to me, Grant's always tasted peppery nick, and I don't like that at all. Yours didn't. You're okay.
There's a lot because ours is mine's a little bit more creamier, I guess, in a sense. Just slightly more creamier. It's basically this one in my head is my favorite dessert of all time. There's two of them. I love flan, and I love galaktoboureko, which is a famous, it's a popular Greek recipe, it's a custard in the center of fila dough, and it's crispy, and it has like a simple syrup kind of drizzled on top. I love it so much. I eat so much of it every time it's there. And basically this one is that custard that's inside of galaktoboureko. That's what I wanted.
So with the US UK custard difference thing, are you bigger in the EU than you are in the US?
Yes, absolutely.
Coil Vapes is smashing it over here.
Yes, and look, and it's hard to, I can only see. A month ago, we were mom and pop. You know what I'm saying? And I've been at it for 3 years. And within this last month, we went from mom and pop to trying to figure out mass production, and we finally have gotten there. And this getting this first co-pack out has been very stressful, but all of us, look, it's the first time all of us are working together, so we have to know each other and see how each person works and figure each other out so we can all get on the same page and move forward comfortably. And that's what we've been doing literally up to the point till I just came onto the show, and I'll probably do it again after and we've always through our whole career we've had label struggle issues, and I know our first co-back has been delayed a week now, and I really don't want to put a product out there unless I feel comfortable with it.
We discussed this because me and Dean have been talking to each other for 13 weeks now. I worked it out yesterday, and all the way through, we've both had exactly the same thing in our heads, which is no. If we're going to do it, and we're going to do it properly, and we're going to do it like this. And every time Dean's been really apologetic, and I've gone, no, don't apologise. Let's just do it. We'll do it properly. Don't stress. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And this week just smashed it out of the park in the UK.
Right. Essentially, this is. I'm sorry, I'm walking on you. Go ahead.
No, go for it, Matt.
I'm bad at that, and I'm trying to work at it. I'm sorry. This is kind of like a relaunch for us. Though we've been around for 3 years, this is kind of like a relaunch, and there's a lot of people that's going to be exposed to our product that's never have before. And we've made a big switch doing it mass production, and I want it to be 100% legit with barcodes. I just got my first bottle today. We got barcodes and batch numbers. Yeah. All this, everything's mixed in ISO 6 labs. Everything is we're 100% legit across the board now. Without any question, and that's something that and a lot of people in the vaping industry experiences that. Well, you start off with something, people take interest in it. You start off small, and then you build on growth, and
absolutely,
that's where we're at right now. And I want the first time that we're relaunch out to the public to be the final product, and it's legit.
I think what's kind of interesting as well is that you mentioned how long you've been going. And I think this is where a lot of companies go wrong as well, is that if you get to the end of the first year and you've got 25 flavors, then something's gone badly wrong.
It has. I noticed this when we were at Jam the other week, and you've gone nuts. There was a couple of people where we were chatting to, and they'd say, I've got 40 flavors in the range, and I just thought, you haven't. Because you should have concentrated on 5.
I have 40. I'm guilty of that, but I can tell you why, and the reason why.
Dean, you've got eyes on you, because when that order that I'll say this now, the order that I made with you, that only we know, changed 3 times.
Oh yeah,
because you didn't want me to do. I put an order and you went no. And we went back and forth, and then we did it like that. That's right. The difference, is you've got eyes on you. When I'm talking to a bloke and he's got 40, and he says they're all fucking amazing, and I think there's something wrong.
But they are to him, John. You can't be upset.
No, I'm not upset. There's a difference.
We fill a gap in the market.
I know.
There's a difference between upset and I'm going to reach for the wallet that's not mine. It's my boss's.
I know. I have 40 flavors. And I know I'm not confident that all of them are solid, Yeah,
that's
that's
the difference. You've got your own QA, and that's taking place, and you see a lot of them. And I'll go around a vape show, and you see somebody, and it's like, right, first of all, I've never heard of you. So if it's the first stand that you've ever done, if you come along and nobody's heard of you, and you've got your big list of 40 flavors, I'm not going to spend a minute there. I'm not going to do anything, because it's obvious that something's gone wrong somewhere. If you've got 1 or 2, it's like, let's take them off the top of my head. It's kind of like Karmic when he did Silly Rabbit. You take DB Liquids with Planet Cracker, because his line was a lot smaller before he did that. Lab Rat had 1 liquid out.
Right.
Yeah.
when he first started doing all of his stuff. And Crescent City Clouds, who were also in New Orleans with you as well. I think
Chris.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, you know Chris. Yeah,
I know really well. Yeah, great guy.
Had, like, Rebirth, I think, was like one of his early ones, and he'd only got a thing with like 5 at the very most, and he'd been going quite a lot. So it's all of those.
Tricky. The market's tricky. It's there's a lot of companies that are out there like myself who have exceptional flavors in liquid that just don't get that lucky break, you know. And luckily, honestly, middle of last year, end of last year, I was coming out of pocket to keep us afloat, and I was actually looking to sell. I really was. And then I waited one more month, and then Grim does the episode, and then here we are now. You know, it's.
I think we're going to go. That's part of the next question, but we're going to go talking about vape reviewers. So I was going to say your favourite UK vape reviewers. Who are the
Mark Todd's my number one guy, hands down.
Mark Todd is your number one.
He's my number one guy across the board.
Who?
Him and Trevor Jones.
Have you got Scott Bonner's got to be on that list as well? I'm representing Scott Bonner.
I get you 69 because we had this, me and Dean.
I'm starting to familiarize myself with him. Recently.
There you go. Yeah, the Bonner.
Yep.
The Godfather.
Scott was one of the first people to put an order in for this one when we launched the other day.
That's awesome.
So we'll have
I guess he likes it then, I guess.
He's the dog we love. Well, if Mark Todd calls him the sort of the king, then you know he's pretty good.
Funny story about this one is with Mark Todd, since we're talking about Mark. After struggling for 3 years, I gave up. And one Saturday morning, I was sitting on the sofa with my son, and I have a setup. I have a little thing that I keep here. So I like to mix flavors and try different things at my house. So I always have a nice little thing, to mess around with and work with new flavors. And I was watching his vlog, and I was kind of like halfway through it. And then it just, out of nowhere, like a light bulb, it hit me. This one recipe. And this happened in July of last year. And I stopped it. I got up. I don't even think I paused it. I think I just got up. I went into the office, got all of my stuff that I normally do to mess around with. And I usually start off in a 5 ml bottle, and then I go to a 30, and then tweak in there, and then I'll release it. I went straight to 100 mils. I mixed it, shook it up, 4 milligram, which I like. I enjoy vaping. And I'm shaking and walking out of the office, and my wife's kind of looking at me, and she goes, "Why'd you make so much?" And I said, "This is the one. I know. I have this feeling like this is it." And I can smell it, and I taste it, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's got to be." And then, when I dropped it, when I did a new fresh build, everything. When I first hit it, a weight lifted off my shoulders, man, because I've been trying for so long, and I was like, thankfully, Thankfully, and then it wasn't shortly after I started badgering Mark, and
yeah, you had to work hard at that.
Yeah, I did, and he was very nice. Both of them were very nice, and always commented back and talked to me, and politely kind of brushed me off, which is expected. I mean, I get that, and it's fine. And then
I tell you, it's funny because just tripping quickly back. Craig introduced me to Mark because I don't like talking to people who don't want to talk to me. I have this like thing where everybody thinks I'm really gobby and say anything to anybody, but I don't actually. And I think Craig sent me saying Mark just talked about you on his vlog and sent me a time code. And I was like, what the fuck? I've been watching this bloke for like 3 years. And I click, and I was like, he did. That's so mental. And then he said, Craig said, send him a friend request. And I went, I don't want to. You don't want to be, but not bad. You don't want to be my friend. And he went, no, it'll be all right. And then I think I didn't do it. And I think Craig sent him a thing saying, you're going to have to friend request me. He won't do it. And then Mark sent me a friend request, and I was like, oh, hello. And it's really weird now because I sit and eat breakfast with Mark and have a pint with Mark. I know he's a mate, but to begin with, I was fucking absolutely freaked out that this Mark Todd's talking to me.
All that opened up. I mean, now I'm friends with Dean the Vaping Biker, which he's an awesome guy. Damon Mortar is awesome. Mark Todd it's great, and John can attest to it. My days have been. I wake up in the morning, damage control, fire, damage control, catch letters. When has my juice shipped yet? When's my juice shipped?
Dean doesn't sleep. I speak to him at sort of 2 a.m. US time when I wake up at 7, and he's like, "Hey man, will you ring me? I just want to have a quick phone call." I'm like, fucking hell, man! It's fucking
I've been on the schedule for 3 years and I can't break it, and I'm working even harder now because I want things to just go smoothly, and I can't sleep.
We've got that. Talking of that and sleep, we're going to use that as a dodgy link, but I'm going to go with it. Vape Fest.
I'm just going to say this will be our second longest show ever. We're catching up with.
This will be our second longest show ever. Yeah,
we're catching
up.
Go
with Vape Fest 2017 in Shrewsbury in the UK. Dean is coming over to meet your.
Cool.
I'm terrible with geography and where continents and states, and I figure the best way to do it is to learn it by actually going. So I'm sorry I'm mixing up London and Shrewsbury.
It's really funny. I spoke to Dean a few times. I was going to say, I was like, Shrewsbury ! And he was like, well, can I pop down and maybe have a look at like the Thames? I was like, you're nowhere fucking near. I gotta be really blind.
I'm like, is it Baton Rouge to New Orleans? Would it be like in the same state? Or is it like Texas?
And he kind of said, can I see Todd's shed? And I'm like, it's not fucking anywhere near Todd's fucking shed.
What you could have done is you could have gone, right, you could have just gone, right, okay, go to Shrewsbury and I'll show you. And then pointed at the river by the campsite and gone, that's the Thames. And then just looked at some houses in the background and just gone, and Todd's shed over there.
Awesome.
Would have been fine.
But you're coming to for us, I think you're coming to the convention in the UK, which is it's just a festival of niceness, and it's a festival of
beer,
vaping, and all the people who are and alcohol as well. And Mark is coming. That's the one Mark's coming to. Obviously, you're going to meet the Todd, and you're going to meet Dean, and you meet Damien. He's always there as well.
I'm probably Scott. I'll work on Scott. I'm sure.
Scott Bonner as well.
I think Scott might make it as well. So.
I think I might faint.
And you're going to meet.
Yeah. They're all
It'll be fun though. You can't beat it. It's the best. It's the best event of the year, really.
Yeah, go on, Rick. What's your explanation of Vape Fest to a man who's from New Orleans?
Vape Fest is it's not like any of the other events because it's not hard selling vendors. They're not tens of thousands of pounds for a stall. It's a festival really, rather than the hard sell. I'd say
that's my kind of place.
Yeah.
That's where I like to be. It's like Woodstock, right?
Yeah. Without the bikers,
without the bands, and without the LSD.
Yeah,
but it's a big field in the countryside in a showground in the UK, and it's the most British festival you can go to.
And, it sounds beautiful.
You're going to be drinking proper British beer and sitting in the proper countryside and talking to real vapors as well, because it is, for me, it's the convention of real vapors in the UK where you actually get.
And I think the other bit as well is that it's when you normally go to a convention, it is kind of
just put John Malcolm in chat. I've just got to say this. John Malcolm in chat just put Mardi Gras without the attractive ladies.
Paula's going though. Paula goes.
Paula's going. Yeah, that's true. Paula and Rob.
See, Yeah, you see, now John Malcolm's in trouble now. Paul is going to kill you.
Paul is
Yeah,
fit.
dead.
I have some friends in the industry that's going to, so I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be exciting. It'll be my first vape convention outside of the States, so.
Oh, it's not. It won't be like anything at all.
Which is great. That's I like it. Showcase was awesome. This last showcase was amazing. It was huge. It didn't have a lot of the loud music. It didn't have all the flashy lights. It didn't have the cloud competitions. It had music, but it wasn't blaring. It was sectioned off very well. It covered the whole spectrum of vaping from beginners to high end, and it was done very well and very tasteful. I really enjoyed the show. One of the best shows I've been to in a while.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, are we gonna wind up with the last bits very quickly?
I think you're going to wind up with the last bits, bring it back down to normal
Twitter
iOS.
of the week.
Which one are we doing first? Are we doing Troll of the Week?
Are we doing Troll of the Week?
Go Troll of the Week.
Yeah, go Troll of the Week. Go Troll. Go Troll. Right, join in.
I was going to skip showcase and do an extra long one next week, possibly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do the Twitter one very quickly because I've been. Oh fucking hell! It's just.
What are we doing? Twitter or
Go Troll. We're going Troll
I'll do Troll
of the Week.
Troll of the Week. Okay. So there's a little backstory here. If you can pull them up, Rick. So a little while ago, someone managed to somehow create a Facebook account as Target, the American superstar Target.
Okay.
They managed to get verified as like an official Target Facebook account, and it was at the exact time that they'd announced that they were doing gender neutral toys, gender neutral stocking and shelving, and so they were instantly hit with quite a bit of consumer feedback, let's say. So for literally almost 24 hours, this person managed to pose as the official spokesperson of Target.
I think you're going to have to be Target. I'm happy to be Nikki Bowers.
I don't want to be Target.
Okay, I'll be Target.
Yay, great, because there's literally some things like that. Okay, anyway.
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay, so Nikki Bowers Conrad said, "Are you seriously not separating boys and girls' toys anymore? It's ridiculous."
Nikki, we invite you to come and separate the toys for yourself. We personally can't keep doing it anymore. It's a lot of work.
And that turned out to be the tip of the iceberg if we scroll through them, Rick.
Be Jeremy.
I find it comical that you guys cannot keep my credit card information safe, but can keep gender benders from getting more hurt feelings.
We do find it very comical, Jeremy, and let's just all keep laughing.
It escalated. Judy said, "I've been a loyal customer forever, sometimes shopping there twice a week. If you change anything into gender neutral, you have lost a customer. I read you also condoning Sharia law in Michigan. Shame on you. This is America."
Judy, we at Target would just like to say one thing. Amazing. Amazing. I read ahead and was like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to do that. So Bob says, "The neutralizing of gender and or colours in your toy selection is a ridiculous move by your company. I've pledged to stop shopping your store until you stop bending to too much political correctness. I will promote this action with others as well. If a tweet get you to make this change, then maybe 1 million+ posts will get your attention, or at least the loss of our money will."
We highly doubt you spend enough at our stores to make us go, "Oh no, we clearly have lost business," from Bob Clark. We at Target wish you luck in your endeavor.
Harrison steps in. You're not Target.
Harrison, it's clear you received your education from North Carolina.
I did.
Thanks.
Not to jump off subject, but is it just as difficult to do an American accent as it is, the other way around?
Yes.
Oh, go on then, Dean. Give it a go.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not. Okay.
Nope.
Nearly.
There are some words that stick. I do get that. I can't do certain words, but I try my best.
Which is
I do all
which
right.
one?
No, I know it when I read them. When I'm doing a sentence,
okay.
I can see it coming and think, fuck.
Right,
Yeah.
I'm going
There's
to.
always different. I can do about, I don't know, 30 accents, and there's ones that just get me. And I go, fuck, I can't do it.
Right, and the final ones, the Twitter of the week. I'm just going to do these ones very, very quickly. I'll try and expand them a little bit. So you can see, which is the first one, which was from Glennie Rodge, which is, why do birds suddenly appear every time you are near? Just like me, you seem to be made of seed.
I saw it coming.
Oh, you sharing them? Oh, sorry.
Which is genius. The next one is brilliant, which is, had a row with my girlfriend. I said you shouldn't look foolish in public, but she insisted ridicule is nothing to be scared of. She was adamant. And the last one was, which is, someone's just thrown a bottle of omega-3 tablets at me. I only received superfish oil injuries, but still.
Oh.
I'll tell you who's good on Twitter. Our very own Peter Huxley.
Oh, he's a legend on Twitter.
Yes.
We'll
Search him out. I'll tell you what, I'll find. Can you put his Twitter handle on the iOS Facebook page? Because Peter's well worth following. He's incredibly funny.
I also got a PM this week saying that Gordon Ramsay is worth a look on Twitter.
He's been very
Chef
funny.
Ramsay,
Absolutely is. There's this new account. I've seen this YouTube one where this guy in a high-pitched voice just goes through Gordon Ramsay's food reviews of other people's.
It's really funny. He's been answering tweets, hasn't he? People have been sending the pictures of their dinner, and Gordon Ramsay has been reviewing them. It's been very funny.
It is brilliant. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, we are. Wow, 2 hours and 17 minutes.
We're only an hour over.
That's pretty good.
An hour over.
How long
Thinking, what have I just been on?
Thank you very much, Dean, for joining us on the Ideal Home Show tonight.
Thank you, Dean.
Cheers, Dean.
Cheers, Dean.
We'll see you in a field in a few months, mate.
Yeah, all the best with the juice.
Can't wait. Thanks.
Right, this has been the Ideal Home Show. I really want to see those fingers. Bye, Rick. Bye, Rick. Riyadh, we miss Riyadh.
Bye.